Hi, welcome to What's Cooking with Rochelle. Today we are making wedding cookies. I love wedding cookies because they're light and still make you feel like you're having a treat, and they're not terrible for you. Anyways, so wedding cookies. To get started, we need some pecans. So I have a cup and a half of pecans. I had the whole ones. If you don't have the halved and you already have chopped, that's perfectly fine. In this recipe, you'll see we're actually going to be making like a course meal from them. But we are first going to toast them. So irregardless of which kind you have, let's get them on the stove for just a couple of minutes to toast. When you're toasting nuts, you're going to put them on a medium-high heat, no oil, dry skillet, and just let them heat. That releases some of the oils from the nut, and it'll make it really nice when we grind it up here in a second. The other things that we're going to be using today, we're going to be using a stand mixer. If you don't have one, go ahead and use a hand mixer. It'll just be easier to combine the butter and powdered sugar. That's going to be the base that we're going to add all the other ingredients to. Now, while we're waiting, we're going to add a half a teaspoon of cinnamon to 1 3/4 cup of white flour. And again, as always, if you want to use alternative flours, this recipe you absolutely could. I would use a oat flour, maybe a cassava flour, or a maybe even a chickpea flour. Try it with those. We are also going to add into this just a hair of salt. So that's about a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Just give that a quick stir. And then we are going to set that aside for now. And we're going to check our nuts and see if they're ready to go in here. Okay, so we take our nuts, we're going to put them into a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you could use a nut grinder or something else. You want to get it really fine. All right. We are going to put our nuts back into our bowl, and I'll show you what they look like. They smell wonderful. I wish you guys could smell them because they're just wonderful. Love pecans. And they're good for you too. All right, so, wonderful. Okay. All right. So on our stand mixer here, we are going to add 2 sticks of unsalted butter. And we're going to add a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And we are going to cream these. You're going to want your paddle attachment if you have a stand mixer. If not, you're going to want to use the regular beaters for this. And we're going to turn it on. Put it on low until you get the powdered sugar combined so you don't make messes like me. And then once you get it combined, which you can see right now it's combined, I'm going to turn it up. We want to get this really light and fluffy. Excellent. To this, we are going to then add our extracts. We have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. That's the key in this recipe, guys. Let's combine this real fast. All right, we're going to give it a good scrape down before we add in the dry ingredients. Now we are going to add the flour that has the cinnamon in it, and I'm actually going to do it in 2 batches. I'm going to do half, combine it, and then add some nuts, and then add the rest. Okay, you can see how nicely that came together. We're going to give it another scrape really fast on the beaters and the bowl. If you have one of the beaters that has the spatula attached to it, obviously you could skip this step. And we're going to add our toasted ground pecans to that. Alrighty, this is looking amazing. Undo this. We are almost to cookies. Now from here, what we need to do is we need to roll them in powdered sugar, and we are going to scoop them into balls, or you can use your hands. So I'll show you both ways so you can decide which you want to do. Okay, so if we're doing it with a scooper, these come in different sizes. This one is a tablespoon. And so you can decide which size cookie you want. You're going to take it with the scooper, gently just roll it in your hands, and then roll it in the powdered sugar. I can do this so you could see easier. If you're doing it with your hand completely with no scooper, you're just going to scoop out about what you think. Roll it with your hands. Again, fingers flexed, out of the way. Roll it in the powdered sugar. Oops. And then place it on our tray. All right, I'm going to continue to do the rest of these up. And then we'll pop them in the oven. Okay, I get to eat. These are so light and delicious. I just love pecans. And the almond with the vanilla is really the key to making these great. If you're making them for a whole bunch of people, I highly recommend using a smaller serving amount, making them into smaller portions. But if they're just for you, make them as big as you want. Thanks for watching What's Cooking with Rochelle. Bye for now.